Now, there's an immediate need to train more midwives to deal with increasing cases of maternal mortality in the country. This is according to the African Medical and Research Foundation, AMREF, during the launch of the second edition of the Chase Group Foundation's Stand Up for African Mothers Walk. Stakeholders in maternal care argue that increasing the number of trained midwives at the rural level is one of the most efficient stopgap measures. International standards, however, call for one midwife for every 500 women, but currently the ratio stands at one midwife to 1,300 women.
We believe that women are the sole source of income in more than 2/3 of African rural homes, and we must at all times strive to provide the essentials that will give them the opportunity to contribute in a meaningful way.
What should be a joy becomes a disaster. So while we're sitting here, actually 2 women in Kenya will die just because of giving birth. The survey also said that out of the newborn babies, only 25% actually survive, and the rest die within the first few weeks. This is absolutely unacceptable. We know how to treat it, we know how to avoid maternal death, and yet it continues to happen every day, not at least on the African continent. Any society that has statistics as we have in Kenya should be very ashamed. We shouldn't allow it to happen. The Kenyan government and the Minister of Health in Kenya try very hard to reduce the maternal health, but it's going very slow. I would say far too slow. The statistics really remain very, very, very high.
It is a quite challenging thing that up to today, when we are celebrating 50 years of Kenya, that we are also talking about maternal death due to pregnancy-related conditions. I believe with this, and whatever everyone else is doing to eliminate this monster, if I may call it so, I believe by the end of the Jubilee year, everyone will be proud and we will all see the fruit of it.
Police in Eldoret are questioning the management of Segero Seventh-day Adventist Secondary School for overloading a bus ferrying students. The 51-seater bus was reportedly carrying 78 students, an excess of 27 passengers. The Eldoret Deputy Traffic Commander says the bus was intercepted at Queenet along the Ziwa Eldoret Road. It was impounded and escorted to the Eldoret Police Station. The driver, however, managed to escape, leaving students and staff stranded. Traffic police say that this is not an isolated case, adding that such traffic offences are the cause of most road accidents.
Kusema ukweli, ilikuwa ni hali mbaya sana, ambapo kama haingekuwa kukutana maafisa wetu wakaipata, nafikiri huko mbele kungekuwa mambo mengine ambayo haingekuwa mzuri sana. Na kwa hivyo nipongeze kwa maafisa wangu ambao wamefanya hii kazi. Na wakati wa kwanza dereva aliposimamishwa alikataa, maafisa wakapata bahati kuifuata, na walipoifuata wakapatana nayo na wakaingia ndani, wakaweza kuendesha kwa kumruhusu dereva aendeshe hiyo gari. Lakini bahati mbaya ama nzuri, dereva alipofika karibu na station akapata nafasi ya kuponyoka, basi ikasimama, na mpaka hivi sasa unavyoona wanafunzi wako hapa, lakini arrangement tunafanya pia.
The Council of Governors Chairman Isaac Ruto is accusing the Jubilee government of not living up to its campaign pledges. The Bomet governor claims there is a move to slash the amount of money set aside for the counties. He says the Council of Governors will mobilize the collection of 7 million signatures to push for the increase in allocation of county funds. Ruto was speaking during a public baraza at the Siongi Roy Sports Ground in Chapalungu.
Lazima tutimize vile tulisema kwa wananchi wa Kenya. Tulisema tutahakikisha katiba imeimprove kusaidia watu wa Kenya na kusambaza pesa kwa uhaki. 45% ya pesa ikuje mashinani. na tutaanza signatures ya referendum. Tuandikishe katika nchi yote ya Kenya. Tuweke signatures milioni 7. Wacha hata milioni 1. Tutaweka 7 million votes.
Austin Meru Governor Peter MUNYA has rubbished the decision by the Court of Appeal to nullify his election, claiming there was a plot by his political rivals to kick him out. MUNYA has sworn to fight the petition, but also says he's ready to go back to the ballot. A highly charged battle is expected between two parties allied to the Jubilee coalition, MUNYA's APK party and TNA, on whose ticket MUNYA's bitter rival Kilemi Murya will vie.
Tutakuja kwenu hii uamuzi ukifika, kama ni kwenda kura tuende, lakini hatungoji kule koti. Tunaendelea na koti kwa sababu tuliona ile uamuzi wa hiyo koti ilikuwa na mambo mengine ambayo si ya kisheria. Kwanza wale walitupeleka kotini na wenzao na marafiki zao walianza karamu siku 3 kabla ya uamuzi. Walikuwa wanajua wanasema uamuzi, wanaujua. Sasa sisi tunashangaa, kwani walikuwa wameketi manjaji ndio waweze kujua uamuzi. Hiyo judgment ukisoma haikai kama ni judgment imetoka kwa watu ambao wamehitimu kwa sheria vizuri. Ile judgment wana castigate high court ilifuata sheria vizuri. Hiyo judgment ilipatikana kwa njia zingine ambazo si njia za kisheria, na ndio sababu tumesema kwa sababu ya haki tutaendelea kuipinga huko juu.
Garissa County Governor Nadif Jama has dismissed media reports of a looming health crisis in the county following the resignation of at least 10 doctors. The governor says no doctor or nurse has resigned. He defended the county government, saying it has been paying staff on time and is seeking to attract and retain medical personnel. Last week, the Health Workers Union Secretary General Dr. Sultani Matendechero warned the country to prepare for mass resignations of health workers over what he termed as frustration from county government health administrators. The Garissa governor was speaking at the Garissa County Referral Hospital.
We do not have any exodus out of this hospital. What we have so far are only 4 or so doctors or what you call medical practitioners who have left for their own reasons. We do not have an exodus, and we will not have one, I can promise you that, because we are going to give all the necessary incentives that our staff may require to ensure that we retain them in hospital.
Have you ever had women paying dowry? And if that is shocking, they are doing it for their father. Here's our story from Odaya constituency.
These women are on a mission, but this is no ordinary operation. Evelyn Nyambura, Anne Wanjogu, Regina Wamboi and Agnes Wamboi traveled all the way from Nairobi to pay dowry for their father, Lawrence Maina Kiminda.
Kama bwana yako hajalipa mahari na wewe pia uko na wasichana ama mjane, hawezi peleka mahari kwa watoto yako na wewe huwezi pewa.
The women say that they resolved to pay the dowry so as to pave way for their children to participate in matrimonial activities, according to the Kikuyu tradition.
In the case he passes on, he just wanted to make sure that he is cleared with them, and that's the reason why he advised them to pay their dowry in a very reduced form, so that in the case he's not there, they will not feel indebted.
Maina was overjoyed to receive the dowry as the day perfectly coincided with his 101st birthday. Residents flocked to the homestead to witness the unique ceremony, as it is believed that men are the ones who pay dowry instead of women. Naga Otieno, KTN.
Lion bones have become a hot commodity for their use in Asian traditional medicine, driving up exports from South Africa to the east and creating new fears of the survival of the species. Hunters can pay up to $20,000 to kill a lion, taking its head and cape as a trophy. However, breeders can make half as much again simply by selling its bones. Conservationists are warning that poaching could be a cheaper alternative. Here is more.
They're known as the king of the jungle, and these magnificent predators prowl around South Africa's savannas with an unmistakable air of royalty. But conservationists warn that African lions are under threat from a growing demand for their bones. Bones like these are sold for up to $10,000 to buyers in Asia, who use them to make tiger bone wine, believed to have powerful healing properties. Lions are seen as a substitute now that tigers are on the brink of extinction.
Round about a whole carcass can go up to 100,000. So if you collect all these bones together, it will go 60,000 rand.
About 8,000 lions live in South Africa, 5,000 of those in captivity. Many are bred to be hunted. Hunters will pay up to $20,000 to kill a lion, taking its head and cape as a trophy. Now breeders can make half as much again simply by selling its bones. Conservationists warn that poaching could be a cheaper alternative.
Lion numbers are declining, and we're very worried that lions may become a threatened species like we've got with the rhinos at the moment.
But breeders say the opposite is true. They claim that selling the bones legally actually reduces the threat of poaching.
If lion bone is available legally on the market, why would anyone choose to take all the risks and the cost associated with poaching?
The number of permits allowing the export of lion bones has increased tenfold, from 60 in 2008 to 612 in 2010. An online petition is calling for the trade to be banned in the same way as tiger bones and rhino horns, but there's debate over how effective that would be.
I don't think at the moment that fighting it in the way we're doing, anti-poaching strategies and trying to enforce the law, etc., I don't think that's going to answer the problem in the long term.
It's too early to tell if the lion bone trade will lead to an increase in poaching. While conservationists want to stamp out the trade altogether, breeders insist that regulating the trade is the best way to protect these beautiful beasts.
Now, at least 7 people were killed and dozens were injured in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Saturday after thousands of panicked job seekers stampeded during a government recruitment drive at the National Stadium. One witness said the stampede broke out as applicants surged towards a central stage. They said only one entrance to the 60,000 capacity stadium was open. It wasn't clear how many people were inside at the time of the crush. The sheer size of the crowd was a testament to the vast numbers of unemployed in Nigeria, most of whose 170 million citizens live on less than $2 a day, while the country lags behind in key development indicators such as health. Already Africa's top oil producer, Nigeria is predicted to soon replace South Africa as the continent's biggest economy. But recognition is growing that the landmark will be largely symbolic and do little to address major problems. Thousands of pro-Russia demonstrators are in the eastern Ukrainian city of Donetsk today, rallying in support of the Crimean referendum. While the crisis in the southern Republic of Crimea has been fairly peaceful, some on the pro-Russian side are not taking chances. They are already rolling out the big guns.
An armoured convoy heads towards us. The first jeep has a Russian number plate, the rest no plates. They carry a heavy load. long-range artillery guns. We follow as the column heads northwest in the direction of Armyansk, now a de facto border town between Crimea and Ukraine. This is quite an unusual situation to be at this end of a long-range Russian artillery gun. There are 6 in this convoy. We've been following them for a while, trying to work out where they're going. This is definitely the heaviest type of weaponry that we've seen on the streets of Crimea. And this is a major waterway, and every bridge is guarded by armoured personnel carriers. Can we pull over somewhere? Dobre utro. Can we... So our attempts to film weren't very successful. They were telling us to go home, to stop asking stupid questions. Our local producer says that the accents were from the North Caucasus. Just ask them what they're doing. Securing all the bridges, or what is the situation? Our second attempt, just as unsuccessful. We frog-marched to the car. But we keep rolling on what they say and manage to film a bit with our phone.
Чисто я по-братски тебе скажу, даже нам не доводит ничего. Не доводит.
They're a lot more friendly when the camera is not rolling than when it is. We just had a chat with those guys, which ended up with them inviting us to tea. But it turns out that some of them were from Chechnya. The guy who did most of the talking said he'd seen 2 wars, and journalism hadn't helped with either. We asked about those long-range artillery guns that had come down this road. They said they didn't know anything about it. They were just following orders. They'd been here a long time, and frankly, they wanted to get out of here.
All the northeast Crimea is supported by this channel, actually, all the water here.
Crimea has no major river of its own, so all the fresh water has to be channeled in from the Dnieper River in Ukraine via this North Crimean Canal, which is hugely important for irrigation and for fresh water here. Every bridge across this canal is now controlled by the Russians. Russian checkpoints, Russian APCs, Russian troops. To stop whoever it is they fear may be coming this way from trying. Diana Magnet, CNN.